Shut up and sit down.
And welcome to another episode of the People's Review Podcast.com. My name is Dylan, leader of this gang, War Chief, and here with Jose.
That's Swan. Jose Swan.
Jose Swan. That'd be a pretty good fucking name, though. No lie.
Right?
Jose Swan.
Totally wasn't at City Hall today getting illegally changed or anything.
Yeah, you know, just something to think about. So, we watched The Warriors, a cult classic.
Warriors.
Do it.
Warriors. Come out and play.
Yes, there we go.
Warriors. Come out and play.
Yes. The Warriors, the 1979 film about a it's like a fantasy gang film. It's stars like Michael Beck and most notably as the antagonist, David Patrick Kelly, who is just amazing in this film as Luther, the shithead antagonist. I mean, I think all the performances are like, they're cheesy, but they're like consistent. They all feel like they fit in this world. I feel like this is a great movie when you talk about vibe. You're like, they're nailing the vibe of this late night. It's dangerous. It's a little goofy with the gang costumes and stuff, but the film takes the concept seriously enough to make it all work.
Oh, for sure. All the gangs, I can imagine there being over 100 gangs in New York. That'd just be so ridiculous.
All with unique, colorful outfits and jackets and logos and the electric eliminators. And what about that pimp gang they show at the beginning? Or the racially insensitive
Baseball
Asian
Furies.
gang. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Baseball Furies.
Yeah, that racially insensitive Vietnamese gang.
Yeah, they're just dressed like fucking peasants. But hey, I mean, for that being said, and amongst some other things that aged badly, it's a pretty progressive film. I mean, to be honest, like when you break it down, it's pretty progressive.
Like in terms of how many times they said the F word.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Aged poorly, but this film has multiple multiracial gangs that are just cool with it. They have a female gang that actually almost gets the heads up on our protagonists and are treated as basically equals. It's like it's relatively there. Like all things considering.
It's true, the Lizzies.
Not
female gang,
not lesbians. It's all total. They're not Lizzies. It's the Lizzies. Despite some very provocative dance sequence. See, Lizzies, progression right there. Come on.
Yeah, I mean they used they used the skills they had and their assets to string along the Warriors, and I give them props for that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's So let me break down what sort of happens in this film. So yes, this is a dystopia in New York City, where there are hundreds of gangs, all dressed differently, and all of the big ones are going to a meeting at the Bronx, led by the Riffs and their new charismatic leader Cyrus, who wants to unite all the gangs and rule the streets and all that stuff, and he's getting everyone behind him. When one little shit gangster and his little shit gang shoot the leader in the middle of like this raucous applause. Then the cops come and break it up, and this little shit guy named Luther, he blames the Warriors, who is the gang that we follow into the Bronx from Coney Island in the beginning. And so now the Warriors are on the run from the cops, from the other gangs, and they've been blamed for this whole situation because they're going to get blamed for killing Cyrus. So they got to bop their way back to Coney. So yeah, it's about from Coney to or from the Bronx, unspecified area. I wasn't able to find the exact area this was supposed to take place, but it's to walk from the Bronx to Coney Island would be like 7 hours and 40 minutes.
Holy shit. That's a long walk.
Yeah. And I mean, they do get a couple train rides in there, but it is a long journey. So they got a bop, which means fight and possibly kill their way back to Coney through all the other gangs' territories. Lots of interesting, I love how this film's shot, the lighting, the pacing is just very, very well set up. And, our warriors have to bop their way back to Coney.
I gotta say, it's this movie is only 90 minutes, which is, right on the cue. They didn't try to extend the story an extra 20, 30 minutes just to milk it, ended right where it needed to end.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very well structured, and for a lot of for this being like an action film, a lot of slow paced parts. But I think that, in my opinion, that's very helpful for building the characters, the motivations, the inner conflicts, and all that stuff. And yeah, let's what about a scene, Jose? Give me a scene. Talk about a scene, man.
All right, so the first scene I'll give you is it's after the shooting, when the DJ starts giving a shout out to the Warriors, and then starts playing that song that says "Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide," and then there starts the montage of all the gangs getting amped up and ready to start looking for the Warriors. That was a pretty great scene.
Oh yeah, it really does. It does. Those are all the gangs that are basically going to try to go after them. The Turnbull ACs and that rollerblade gang, which I don't have a name for, but they rollerblade. That's a real tough guy thing to do.
I'm rollerblading here.
I mean, I would not want to. Anyone trying to beat me up on a rollerblade is someone I don't want to mess with. So
I would never admit to being beat up by a gang of rollerbladers. Just saying.
Yeah, you just embellish that a little bit. He got a lucky hit on me, but I beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it was like a gang of 50 to 100 people who were totally not on rollerblades. They were on skateboards. That's way more tough. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, everyone is after our warriors, which includes so the leader Cleon was killed in a great scene during the riot where he just all the Grand Mercy refs just come up and start elbowing down at him.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
So Cleon's dead. Now War Chief Swan is in the lead, along with Snow, a guy called Vermin, Cowboy who wears a hat. Cowboy hat. We got Cochise with the Indian headdress and beads and whatnot. Rembrandt, Virgin Rembrandt, and his stupid hat. Okay, so right after the riot, there's a scene where the Warriors are reorganizing in the graveyard. A little dispute over who's the leader with a character I'll discuss in a second. And Rembrandt is named as such because he's supposed to be the artist with the graffiti, with the spray paint. And before they leave, Swan's like, tag this place up. And he just writes the shittiest W on a gravestone. It's like, really? That's your tag?
That's a nervous W, Dylan. That's oh shit, I want to go home, mommy, W.
Rembrandt did not sign up for this. Rembrandt did not. No, I mean, hey, I would probably be even more scared than Rembrandt if I were in this situation. Who else is in the? Oh,
Ajax.
Let's talk about. Let's talk about Ajax, our king dipshit, number one asshole. Throughout he even starts in the opening introduction scenes where he's talking to, I think, Vermin, saying "Ooh, we could get some ladies on the way back," and Vermin's just you got one track mind because there's this is a big deal, it's a big meeting, and then Ajax just calls him a F slur, and uses that, and my personal favorite, I love that he says whips. They're just a bunch of wimps. He just calls everyone wimps in a way that just adds to his, I'm sick of these wimps. And Ajax is just like king shit. He wants to be the leader, but he's not. He just wants to punch things. He flips off a cop. No, he flips off the turnable ACs and almost gets his like hand chopped off. Like, this guy is king shit.
Ajax is the guy you knew in high school who like acted super tough, and then deep down inside he was just a scared little lonely boy.
Yeah, and another point for progressivism. He gets his comeuppance as the resident sex pervert of the Warriors. Well, actually, let's talk about the baseball Fury scene, because this also has some things that I really don't like about this new cut of the film. I really hate these comic book transitions. They're just so out of place.
Oh, so I
understand that that's new. That was not in the 1979 cut. This is like some 2010s like rebrand type stuff. So this movie had just regular scene transitions where scenes would start and then other scenes would end, and there'd be cuts or wipes or whatever. Like, and this new version just has all these tacky ass fucking comic book panels and I think the Baseball Fury's opening is one, because in the original cut, Ajax just they're escaping the train from the cops. Ajax says, "Where are we?" And he's like looking around, and then they see the Furies have been waiting for them, like out of one pot into another, and they just ruin it with this transition scene. But this is probably one of the most famous Warrior scenes, where they a very long running scene through Central Park or whatever park, and like some maybe the most stilted fight scene, but I think it works. It's like samurai pretty much, like as far as like very like the way they use the bats and all that stuff. But I think the scary factor is being chased by a bunch of bat wielding baseball hooligans. Right, that's the creepy part.
I'll have to say, I have to give it to the Baseball Furies to wear that makeup the whole time. Like, you'd have to wear that makeup the whole day to, defend your territory. And then you'd probably have to go to sleep at night with it, because you're not going to wake up and put on the makeup again. So you're probably looking at least a good week of just wearing that makeup. So I have to give them commitment.
It's a lifestyle, man. This isn't some after school activity and they go back to going to algebra class. This is a lifestyle, being a Baseball Fury.
Yeah, but you could join any gang. You could join the Warriors, you could join the gang with the rollerblades, but to join the Baseball Furies is like joining the elite of the elite.
Yeah, because you get a baseball bat.
I feel like
you saw all those bats they had. Bat. No, but they have the supply of baseball bats. I didn't see any baseball bats when the Warriors were in any other situation besides when they stole them from the Furies.
Well, they were also
and
not on home
rollerblade
turf.
Gang didn't have bats. The Lizzies didn't have no bats.
Oh, the Lizzies had a gun. So
you don't know what you're talking about, Jose.
The Lizzies had a gun, so gun beats bat.
That they missed, and they missed every single shot in point blank range.
Hey, shooting that gun for the first time is a lot harder than it looks.
It's true. Yeah, it's especially in all the chaos. But yeah, that's I just wanted to those comic book transitions suck and make the film feel way more tacky than it is.
I don't know.
It is pretty bad. Cheesy film, but
yeah, it's a cheesy film. So I thought it's kind of like meshed well together. Yeah,
it's just when compared to the original cut, when that stuff, it's like those new Star Wars edits, where Lucas just went in and pasted a bunch of fucking CGI bullshit over the scene you wanted to watch because he wanted to show off how good his computers were. Like, it's just completely unnecessary from what was already a film a good film that people wanted to watch. It's just unnecessary additions.
I understand.
Yeah, just don't mess with a good thing, guys. Come on.
So another scene I thought was pretty good was when the 3 remaining Warriors members, after being split up, all head out to the Lizzie's hideout. Everything's looking cool. Everyone's maxing, relaxing, making out.
Except for Virgin Rembrandt, who's just like, nope, I'm not participating in this.
I'm sorry, I have to go to Sunday school tomorrow, so I don't want to participate in this. Okay.
He doesn't want to dance. Vermin and Coochies are all like, yeah, babes. Which is very ironic considering that, especially in, I think these scenes happen around the same time as the Ajax getting busted for being a pervert scene. So it's, interesting, because Vermin was telling Ajax earlier, you got one track mind. It's what about you, Vermin? What are you doing?
I know, you should be
you jerk.
Hanging out at Union Square waiting for your boys, but guess where you're at? You're hanging out with some women.
Exactly. And yeah, I think the scene, pretty well, and pretty well, actually, I like the fight scene here, too. One of the Lizzies gets a chair smashed over her head, which is pretty fucking intense.
I mean, definitely one of the better fight scenes. I felt
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just the choreography.
Because they're caught completely off guard. Yeah, I mean, it's all, I think even factoring in the fight choreography of the time is pretty exciting scene.
I'll give that, for it being, late 70s, early 80s. It's the best they had.
But yeah, no, great scene. Great scene.
What about you, Dylan?
Oh, man, I want to talk about the Rogues going to the convenience store. So this is the gang with Luther in it, who is just, what a performance. This guy just, next to Ajax, this guy's just a little fucking piece of shit. And they're at some convenience store talking about yeah, everyone's after the Warriors. Let's go see if we can get them. And the lady at the cashier says, are you going to pay for that? And Luther just very convincingly just snaps and says, pay for what? And just throws it. Just that line, his delivery, just the shift from relaxed to just fucking, he might as well whipped out the gun and pointed it at her with the intensity that he said that. I think it was just a perfectly delivered line.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be ready at any time to, for anything to happen. You got to defend your territory. You got to play
it's just,
cool and
shows,
concise.
And, just shows the craziness. Is just another example of the guy's craziness. He's willing to just stir the pot. Just because.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could tell he wants to stir the pot since the beginning of the movie because he's the one who started the whole thing off, killing Cyrus.
Oh yeah, it's just and everyone else's performance is even the orphans who we meet. I even think that guy's performance is I'm not gonna say it's a Oscar-worthy performance, but it fits the scene, fits the mood, fits the character. Just this ugly man being insulted that his gang wasn't invited, and he being personally insulted, and it's not but it's all the roles and lines in this film fit the characters, right? It's just it's just a really good job that they do in this film of establishing the world and bringing those characters to life.
Yeah, I feel like all the orphans were pretty well played. They're on the edge. Just some fucking shit ass gang, just dirty fucking t-shirts, just trying to make their mark. Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're not a tough gang. They're just there because they have nothing better to do.
Yeah, well, it's a product of their environment, right? I got some of the themes they get into with Swan and the I don't have a name for the female character, but
it's Mercy.
Some of the stuff they kind of I'm sorry.
Her name is Mercy.
Mercy. And some of the stuff they sort of or the film alludes to later of them being maybe the best scene of the film, in my opinion, is toward the end when all the Warriors have fought everybody, fought the Baseball Furies, fought the gang, fought the Rollerblade gang, have all reconvened together with Mercy, and Swan and Mercy are sitting together, and then those 2 prom couples get on the train, and they're laughing and having a good time, and they look over, they're just getting glared at by Swan and Mercy. And it's just that, 2 whole different worlds, right? Seemingly similar aged people, but one is, going to the prom and doing all the normal things, and the others are fighting for their lives. And this is sort of, they live in the filth. They were born in the filth, will probably die in the filth. And it's just, just two whole different worlds. This is just really well done how they did that scene. With no dialogue either. Just, Mercy about to adjust her hair and Swan puts her hand down. Like, don't try to conform here. Like, don't bother. And then, the prom kid's just getting awkward and being like, oh, fuck this, we're out. Oh, just wanted to get that off my chest before I forgot.
No, yeah, that...
Great scene.
Yeah, that is a great scene. Yeah, you can just tell, like, they're the same age, but they're just on opposite ends of the track, One lives in luxury, and the other has to scrape and fight for whatever they can get.
Yeah, and it's very easy. And if you're in one or the other camp, or if you're in the privileged camp, to just not even consider what other people are thinking or going through. So those kids probably all just left and put it out of their mind and whatnot. But it just illustrates that this is not just fantasy fun gang time, which in a lot of ways this film kind of is, just in terms of the environment, the differently, the flamboyantly colored gangs and all that stuff. But, it mixes that with the sort of the realness of why people are in gangs or just the differences in that stuff, where they're putting the real, making it feel real as well, and not just fantasy fun playtime. If that makes any fucking sense, I don't know. I'm fucking tired as shit. So,
let's see. I got one more scene for myself. This is after the rollerblade gang is starting to follow Swan. The rest of the warriors start to head to the bathrooms, and then Swan and Mercy head over too. Then Mercy is like,
"Oh, but this is after Mercy comes up and is like, those people are following you." He's like, "I know they're following me, but now they know I know they following me."
Yeah.
Is it, yeah.
So Mercy and Swan are heading to the bathroom entrance, and then she's like, "I can't go in there. That's a men's room." And then one of the guys grabs her and is like, "Are you kidding?" and drags her in. Freaking classic.
Yeah. Backup sex pervert Vermin. He's like the bench sex pervert. He's gonna take over for Ajax now that Ajax is in jail.
Yeah. It's like, Mercy, what do you think? What's better, to be outside or to be inside in the bathroom stalls where you can surprise everybody, or be outside and get attacked? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's also like everyone knows what's about to happen, right? Like you're really gonna make a big deal out of this right now. So, but yeah, and that fight scene also I love it. There's a couple like wrestling like slams in there. A couple guys getting fucking flipped, thrown into the glass.
Swan goes into the glass.
Yeah. Oh, I think Vermin gets thrown into the glass, and Swan flips someone into the fucking toilet.
That might be right. I don't remember.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he just gets fucking flipped over there. Yeah. By the damn rollerblade gang.
Rollerblade gang.
Which, if you get the rollerblade gang off balance, shouldn't they all just like fall over? Like you could just push them.
No, it's like if you're skilled enough with the rollerblades, you could probably do anything.
Anything? That's a pretty big claim.
Dylan, anything is possible.
No, KG from the 2008 Celtics. It isn't.
It is when I say so.
Well, and you want to talk about this the culmination, or actually let me see if there's anything else I want to discuss. Oh, I love the radio DJ transitions where she's kind of updating everyone in a smooth, silky voice about, the Warriors just got out of another jam. They're bopping their way back to Coney. And it just, adds to the vibe, putting on the records. I love the riffs, the Grand Mercy riffs. Just a bunch of dudes and karate outfits. Just huge gang.
Silk robes and kimonos,
Yeah, I would not want to mess with the riffs. Considering how their elbow style beatdown. I'm not trying to be a part of that.
That's how Cochise dies. Not Cochise, Chief.
Cleon.
Yep.
Cleon, come on, man. All right, so let's talk about this ending scene. So they're back to Coney, but we got Luther and the Rogues doing the bottles and chanting thing that Jose did earlier, which is actually an improv by the actor. He just found those bottles and did it, and they filmed it, and it's in the film.
That's a fucking
that was total improv.
Like, some improvs are great.
Seriously,
but that's fucking masterful. That's like something that has spanned for over 43 years, and like everyone spoofed it in TVs and movies, you know?
Yeah, and just like it's like it sounds goofy, but like in the context of like this is the final battle, like this guy's nuts. This guy's just nuts. This guy Luther is not normal. He's not doing this for laughs or giggles. He's just messed up, and that's what he admits to basically when Swan confronts him on the beach. He's just like, "Why'd you shoot Cyrus?" Don't know. I like doing things like that. It's like this guy, and then oh man, so they have their final confrontation. Another point blank miss shot from point blank. Luther gets hit in the hand with a knife, and then who comes?
The riffs.
Yeah, the riffs come, and I love the shot where it's just Swan looking up at them on the ridge, and they all just walk down. It's just they already look like a big crowd, but I like that all walking at once, getting up close, and just surrounding them. You warriors are good, real good,
the best.
And then they get to walk. They get to survive their odyssey through New York. 2 members dead, 1 member arrested because remember, Fox. Oh, we never even talked about. I always forget that Fox is in the film. He's like the guy who's almost the main character but gets hit by the train or gets thrown into the train tracks by the cop.
Yeah, I always wondered why like there wasn't a bigger scene over at Union Square where they threw him into the tracks. I'm like, wouldn't this be like a
because
bigger issue?
that actor wanted off of the film, so they killed him off early. He was supposed to be like the love interest with Mercy and stuff, but that guy wanted out, so they filmed that scene shot where he gets thrown into the train tracks and gets run over. Because I don't think he probably didn't think the film was going to do well at all. It wasn't like a big hyped up production. So they were like fighting off real gang, or they were like their productions got stopped by real gangs because they were filming in New York at night.
Right.
So
he probably got scared
doing all these shots. So
I mean, hey.
But yeah, Fox got.
He's still in the movie, so he
I'm
gets.
sorry.
He gets the royalties. That's what all that matters, right?
Yeah, but it could have been. He's the most forgettable part of the film in a lot of ways. Like we forgot about him until right now, and he's in like half the movie.
Yeah, but
yeah, he didn't want to be in the. He just the characters. Yeah, he just wanted out, so they killed him off, and that's the end of Fox, and that's the end of Cleon, and Ajax is in prison.
I wonder how Ajax is going to feel in prison.
There's some comic book where they break him out. I think graphic novel that I've seen a couple panels of. So he gets broken out.
I would have left his ass in there
in the Warriors universe.
Fuck him.
There you go. Ajax just needs to pipe down, learn about sensitivity a little bit, stop trying to rape people. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's very rapey.
He's a number one sex pervert.
He's the guy you get.
Speaking of sex,
caught on what's that program? The one where with Chris Hansen, Dateline.
Oh, come on, he's not after. Come on, he's not
yet.
A pedophile. He's just a sex pervert. Dylan. Not yet. He was after adult. Come on, let's not. The guy's already a piece of shit. Let's not also add made up things to this fictional character that doesn't exist.
A real monster, I tell you, Dylan. A real monster.
He's a sex pervert, but he is not a pedophile sex pervert. He's just a regular sex pervert. I'm a thumbs up on this film. There's lots to criticize here. Obviously, it's cheesy. It hasn't aged well in a lot of spaces, sensitivity wise. But I love the mood. I love the atmosphere. I love the structure, the filmmaking, the shots, the lighting. Thumbs up.
I think I'm kind of It's all right, but it's not like, I don't know, it's like I'm almost putting my thumbs up, but I'm like halfway through and I'm like, nah, I'm all right. So a half thumb.
Gotcha. Respect. A half thumb. Like Orange Cassidy. I got you. You're watching AEW now.
It's like I haven't had my Viagra yet. That's how my thumb is.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is his gimmick is being lazy. So he does like a half thumbs up whenever someone speaks to him. He's just like half thumbs up. So you're Orange Cassidy of this Warriors.
Yeah,
review. You're like,
it's all right. It has some bad stuff in it, but I mean, overall, it's a short, decent movie.
Very true. And now Let's get coin
I'm
flipping.
talking coin flip time.
Partly
We're gonna
because
flip
I'm-
that coin. We're gonna flip that coin. We're
coin,
not gonna
coin.
break Ajax out of jail. Yeah.
Nope, he's
His ass is
staying.
fucking staying there forever.
Frickin' wimps.
All right, Dylan,
Frickin'
since you
wimps.
picked last week, our genre for this week is comedy. What is going to be your choice,
Comedy.
monsieur?
My choice is going to be my favorite comedy film. I'm not saying it's the best ever. I'm just saying this is my personal favorite comedy film, and it's Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. It is a mockumentary about biopics. Obviously, Walk Hard, Walk the Line, Johnny Cash, Ray, the Beatles, Brian Wilson. Everyone gets made fun of. The 70s, and all songs performed and sung, and almost all of them written by John C. Reilly, who stars in the film. So good.
All right, that's a very solid pick.
Oh, solid as hell, yeah. Oh, I feel solid about that. I'm like a Geodude using Harden over here.
Well, I'm going to continue on from my animation craze from my choice of last week. My choice this week is a comedy. It's animated and it's a Mike Judge classic. I'm talking about Beavis and Butthead, Do America.
Do America. yeah, I'll watch Beavis and Butthead Do America. Those guys are dumb.
Classic movie
Oh,
from the
Judge.
90s.
Yeah. Oh, man, that'll be fun. Two good picks, no bad picks.
Yet.
Yeah, flip that shit.
All right.
And I won, so I think you call it, right?
I'll call it. So once again, I have the coin on heads. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to flip that coin. So I'm going to call tails.
Gotcha.
And it's heads. Guess we're going to be watching
Shit.
Dewey Cox and the Walk Hard story.
Walk Hard, a Dewey Cox story. Get it right.
It's Dewey Cox,
Jose.
a Walk Hard story. Because he's walking.
Jose, a getting beat down story.
Wow. I'm going to call my two
Oh.
lawyers. And they're going to have a word with you, young man.
Oh, man. Dylan William, the litigation story.
Coming
Shit.
to a Lifetime theater, Dylan William is being sued.
Oh, no.
Now we just got to add
The
in
litigation.
a wife that's going to try to murder you for your inheritance. And we got a Lifetime story, baby.
Oh, there we go. Some double indemnity stuff. I kill your lawyer. You kill my lawyer.
I sleep with your lawyer's wife. You sleep with my lawyer's
Yeah.
wife. It's a crazy story.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
All right, Dylan.
So, yeah, that's...
You got to also pick the genre for next week.
Oh, again?
Yep, you win. You pick le genre. That is how the rules are, monsieur.
Oh, man. I'm going to run out of genres. Science fiction.
Sci-fi. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Another great episode. Another great talk with you through adversity. Long story short, I recently moved. None of the outlets here are grounded, so I can't plug in I don't want to plug in my PC and ruin it. So I am recording on some fucking app on a Chromebook, and just want to thank Jose for dealing with the adversity.
I am suffering so much. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows but the People's Review Podcast. Nobody knows. Except if you go to peoplesreviewpodcast.com or follow us on Twitter and catch us next episode where we watch the Dewey Cox Hard story. I mean, the Hard Cox story. I mean, the Dewey Cox Hard Cox story. I mean, oh, fuck.
Dewey Cox, a
Turn it
hard
off.
story.
Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Cut the audio. Cut it all.
People's Review Podcast. Come out and review me. People's Review Podcast. Come out and review me.
Shut up and sit down.